Well, I went to a dermatologist about a month ago to get a wart removed from my rear end. You know, get this wart removed from my buttocks. And anyway, the doctor froze it. He froze it with a shot of like liquid nitrogen while this young guy looked on. Then like 2 weeks later, I went in for the follow-up, and they were both there to check out the progress. And then like last week the doctor and this young guy were there again when I went in so they could examine the final results. Anyway, to make a long story longer, I ran into the dermatologist like yesterday on the street, and I asked him how long till his intern gets his own practice. He goes, "Intern? I don't have an intern. I thought he was with you." Sad. That's sick. It's a little personal. You know how sometimes a physician will let a med student or an intern, sit in during an operation or a medical procedure? Well, I went to a dermatologist like a month ago, and about a wart, trying to remove a wart on my rear end, like remove a wart on my butt. Anyway, the doctor froze it with a shot of liquid nitrogen, and while this young guy looked on. Then like 2 weeks later, I went in for the follow-up, and they were both there to check out, the progress. And then last week, the doctor and this young guy were there again when I went in for the, the final exam, to examine the final results. Anyway, to make a long story longer, I ran into the dermatologist on the street today, and I asked him, how long till his intern gets his own practice. He goes, "Intern? I don't have an intern. I thought he was with you."
Oh!
So, wasn't expecting that.